Electricity. You flip a switch, the lights go on. But will we have safe supplies of electricity to meet our fast-growing needs? Today, nuclear energy provides 1/5 of America's electricity. Tomorrow, it could supply even more. And nuclear power plants don't emit greenhouse gases, so they preserve our environment. We need to reduce our dependence on foreign energy. And we also need clean air. With nuclear energy, we can do both. Nuclear, putting clean air energy to work.
Feature time here on the Atomic Power Racing Hour from Mohawk International Raceway, where fireworks were part of the action-packed program. Now, we don't have time to show you all 20 minutes of it, though. As the lights were coming back on and just before the drivers got strapped into their late models, they interacted with the fans, sending frisbees into the stands as a promotion to pair up a lucky fan with whomever wins the feature. In order to be that winner tonight, though, drivers will have to pace themselves for 30 laps around this speed plant while mastering a changing track surface. And for more on that major dynamic, here is our Greg Birosh trackside.
Well, just about ready to get started here with tonight's feature event, and these race cars are going to see a lot different racetrack than they did in the heat races. Earlier on, it was narrow, it was a really tacky, fast lockdown, tough to pass. Now, the groove is widened out significantly. You still got tacky lanes on the bottom and on the outside, but right through the middle, the sprint cars have run their main event, and they have made it really slippery here in the middle of the racetrack. We'll see who picked out the right setup and who's got it for the 30 laps in tonight's Go Nuclear late model feature event.
Thanks, Greg. The track certainly looks different than it did in the heats. As you heard, the cars are now fired and making their way around the speedway for their parade laps in anticipation of the first Go Nuclear Late Model Series race of the year. It has arrived later in the season than had been anticipated, and without a doubt, this delayed start has everyone ready for the first big race of the year. With a car count this strong, it is anyone's guess who will drive to the front and, more importantly, who will be there at the end. With this facility being foreign to almost every competitor in the field, there will be an element of luck factored in determining the feature winner. Dale Caswell is carrying her onboard and is starting on the outside pole with Tim Sears Jr., the winner from the Mohawk late model race last year, to his inside. As you can see, though, this is a stacked field, and so drivers will be carving their way up through the pack throughout the 30-lap event. For more on the starting grid, here is Rich Fleck with the call.
Well, for the drivers that did their homework and those that are a little more cerebral in nature, they could have forecasted that the track would be slick in the middle after the sprint cars ran their 25-lap feature event. With that said, that extra set of hot laps that they got before the sprint car feature is not going to factor in that much. We'll see what drivers understand that you've got to be on the top or the bottom for this main event. Hard to pick out a favorite for this race, but with Tim Sears Jr. and Dale Caswell on the front row, they are certainly two to look after. However, with the racetrack now wider and slicker in the middle, passing will be at a much higher frequency than what we saw in the heat races when it was very tough to run side by side and momentum was killed often when a driver hit the bad spot of the speedway. The white flag is now out and the field is ready to go for this 30-lap Go Nuclear late model feature event. Lining up behind Sears and Caswell is Beardsley and Kidd, Jacobs and Miller, Bellier and Sandercock. From outside of the redraw, Rob Mason and Joe Hall, Kyle Sopaz and Phil Potts, David McDonald, AJ Kingsley, Art Halliday, Kelly Weiss, Shane Tenace, Matt Vanderlinden, and Joe Banks. Unable to start this feature is Steve Coit in the 12. We are ready to go green. The 2012 season underway out of turn number 4 for the Go Nuclear Late Model Series. And a very even start back to the line. Sears trying to do the best he can on the inside. Dale Caswell, though, spoke to him before the feature. He said he wants the top. Momentum is king, and he got the lead into turn number 3. Good tune, almost 3 wide, battling through turn number 3 and 4. Joe Hall, we saw him do this in the heat race in the number 44, driving in deeper than anyone else into turn number 3. Leader right now is Dale Caswell. Tim Sears under attack by Sean Beardsley. The winner of heat race number 2 looks to the inside, nearly getting that position, but Sears will rock it back around the outside as they complete lap number 2. Still Sears and Beardsley side by side. Beardsley, who ran the World of Outlaw Late Model Tour for some time, has had a very good car since the hot laps, but the track is changing. Joe Hall, meanwhile, still on the move after starting in spot number 10. Underneath Rick Miller for the position number 4. Miller drives up the racetrack. Phil Potts is on the move as well. He started in 12th. He's already up in the spot number 6 in that black and yellow number 29. Joe Hall, the 44. Car very tight right now, but that's a good thing as the race will go along. Miller back into spot number 5. And again, Rick Miller a little tight. Now loose off the corner, and Phil Potts all over the back end. Phil Potts, who enters the night second in the Brighton Speedway points, looks down to the inside rail of the racetrack. He has that car set up perfectly. So Potts now up 7 positions as we got an issue in turn number 2. One driver up and over. The 68 of Rob Mason has flipped his Go Nuclear late model, and the red flag going to have to come out. Joe Hall spins around. That looked like it was after the red flag had been given. Rob Mason with an issue on his ride.
This is obviously a scary scene with any race car, but since it's so rare to see a late model flip over and land upside down, this incident was even more nerve-wracking. Thankfully, the Mohawk International safety crew was quickly on the scene, and soon after, Rob was able to climb out of the race car on his own. You will see him in a moment emerge from the other side of the car in his black suit and helmet. Great to see that he was okay. We are 5 laps into the feature, and we'll return to Mohawk right after this.